presentation of colors. Remain standing for the National Anthem.
Detail, present, arm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arm.
You may be seated. First, I'd like to have Pastor Bill Vandervenen for the invocation.
Please join me in prayer. Dear God in heaven, we come to you in this evening hour, a time in which we recognize and remember the accomplishments of members of the Grand Rapids Fire Department over the past 2 years. Many will be rewarded for their efforts in saving lives and property, and for that we give thanks. I give thanks for each one of them who was given the opportunity to save a life and make a difference in someone's life. Continue to grant each member of the fire department the skills and resources as they answer the call to serve our community. We also recognize those who have been promoted during the past 2 years We give thanks for their roles and pray for them in their new responsibilities. Grant to each of them knowledge and insight into making good decisions as they provide leadership in their daily challenges. Bless us now and this evening in our time of fellowship together. We pray this in Jesus' name and with the blessing of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you all for being here tonight as we honor our firefighters and civilians for the work that they've done. Let's sing on. You guys hear me? Am I loud enough? I heard it. It's been a couple years since we've had one of these ceremonies, and this year is a little bit different than years past in that we have a whole lot going on. We've got the awards ceremony for 2020 and 2019, 2020. We've got the promotional ceremony that covers a couple years, and then we have our memorial for Father Morrow at the end of this. So bear with us; it's going to be a lot of activity tonight. I want to thank my awards committee for all the hard work they've done this past 2 years, and then the past few weeks getting ready for tonight. Special thanks to John Keeler for all the work that he did in preparing the program. But it really took the whole committee to make this happen. So thank you guys for that. Next, I'd like to have City Manager Mark Washington up for a few words.
Well, good evening, everyone. You can't talk with the mask. Good evening, everyone. It is indeed a privilege and delight to be with you on this occasion as we celebrate the finest fire department in the state of Michigan. If not all of the country. I know that we're one of the finest fire departments because we are the only department that has the ISO 1 rating, and we are also credentialed. And I attribute a lot of, accredited, I attribute a lot of the outstanding leadership, certainly to Chief Lehman and his command staff, his team, and also the fine employees that are in our fire department who day in, day out make sure that we have one of the safest cities in the country. I have seen firsthand what the men and women of our department do when there is an emergency. And they are often the first on scene. I literally have seen firsthand both in emergency operations as well as critical incident. And they are there to preserve, protect property, and to save lives. And I've seen them firsthand. I so much appreciate being part of this community and having the privilege to be city manager. What is clear to me in this past couple of years that we have not only had the protection of the fire department in protecting us from physical danger and harm and physical fires, but we have been going through the fire of the pandemic and the fire of the economy. And our fire department has been resilient in both. They too have seen their shares of challenges within the firehouses, of the challenges of COVID, and have managed to stay safe and ensure the safety of others in the process. They have also been part of helping us in economic recovery, in making sure that many of our outdoor spaces and outdoor dining is permitted and approved for code, and that doesn't endanger our citizens. They have also been very collaborative in helping us with many of the issues as it relates to our unhoused populations, but in saving lives. When I say I have seen the work of this department firsthand, it literally is something I can tell you just about every day. From being in a meeting on the 6th floor and having a contractor that was stuck on the top of the, outside on the roof of City Hall rappelling, and on the work of this department and their technical rescue, helping them, to hearing what you'll hear some of the heroic events today about people whose lives were being saved in critical times and having cardiac arrest, to even having firefighters getting them out of confined spaces. So I truly am pleased to be the city manager. Unfortunately, tonight is a night in which we not only honor our employees in the fire department, but we also have the important business of the city. It is pre-scheduled that the city commission meeting begins tonight at 7 p.m. The mayor unfortunately could not be here tonight, but with me we have two of our commissioners representing the second ward and the third ward. Commissioner Melinda Isasi, you'll stand, please. And Commissioner Nathaniel Moody, both of the second ward and third ward. I thank them for being here and making time for us to share this moment with you, and I want to say congratulations to everyone who's being recognized tonight. Thank you, Chair.
It's a lot of work getting up and down, putting the mask on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. Chief Lehman, would like to say a few words, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much to all those friends, family members, department members who join us here this evening. What a special night it is for us to be able to get back together again and celebrate the great accomplishments of this organization. We've got great people in our ranks. So happy to be able to be here tonight, and proud to be here tonight. See everybody dressed up in their blues. Everybody's looking good, high and tight. Watching our bagpipe and drum corps perform for us. Thank you very much for the professional job that you do. Our honor guard is very top-notch, and we recognize and thank them for their job as well. Thank you very much to the awards committee. This is a lot of work, and we did ask them to squeeze a lot into tonight's events. And so I'm going to keep my comments brief, but I just want to say that we weren't able to do a lot for a long period of time, and now it seems like we're squeezing everything into a very short period of time. So it was a week ago that we graduated our academy class. We've been on the street for a year. Tonight we celebrate awards and accomplishments and promotions, as well as pay tribute to our fire department chaplain who passed, Father Dennis Morrow. And then tomorrow night at the Calder Plaza, we have what we call the Silent Night Parade, and that is a tradition that's been going on since 2000. But that parade memorializes those from our retiree ranks who have passed in the last 2 years since we were able to do that last time. And so a lot of things going on in a short period of time to recognize the great things that our men and women are out there doing every day. So thank you very much for being here. And again, I'll turn it back over to Lieutenant Colonel.
Thank you, Chief. So for our first award tonight is a unit citation. It is from August 18th of this year, where a worker was working on an elevator, and the counterweights of the elevator came down and trapped his arm. I believe it was a 5,000-pound weight crushing on his arm. And for a technical incident such as that, it takes a large number of people to make that rescue happen. There's patient care, there's safety concerns, there's the technical part of taking the weight off the person, as well as making sure that we have the right people in there providing the care for that person. So it's quite a big group of people. I'll start calling names. As you hear a name, please come on up and receive your award, and then follow up on stage. Battalion Chief Mark Norman, Lieutenant Matthew DeMond, Firefighter William Ravel, Firefighter Casey Sullivan, Firefighter Daniel McGraw, Firefighter Grant Vanderwall, Equipment Operator Jason Zamaron, Firefighter Xavier Greenfield, Lieutenant Mark Penny, Firefighter R.J. Tennant, Firefighter Charlie Benton, Firefighter Nick Veldkamp, Captain Richard Clark, Assistant Chief William Brown, Training Chief William Race, Firefighter Alex Van Putten, Lieutenant Jeff Martin, Firefighter Michael Walker, Captain Joaquin Martinez, Equipment Operator Jeff Vanderwall, and Firefighter Nate Mulder. Next up, I'd like to have our EMS coordinator, Captain Steve Mcbride, give out some medical service awards.
Thank you all for coming. My name's Steve Mcbride. I'm the EMS coordinator and commonly go by Red. In the city of Grand Rapids, if you call 911, there's a 64% chance that it's going to be a medical alarm. A lot of people wonder why the big red fire engine pulls up, and when everybody gets out with their equipment and they start to get hands-on and treat patients, they're pretty happy they're there. So it's an honor to be recognizing these folks. I would like you to come up here and kind of line up. I think it's kind of cool for the families to see you guys for a minute up here. So if you can join me up here, Lieutenant James Betts, EO Chris Knapp, Firefighter Ty Vanderwall, Lieutenant Justin Holmes, Firefighter Aaron Engelbert, Jonathan Van Lente, Craig Vanderwall, Abe Schneider, Winston Wood, Denny Brait, Alex Atwood, Dave Miller, Nick Veldkamp, Jordan Heisma, Nate Dreyer, Brad Anderson, Colin Meninga, Tim Keeling, Vinnie Lorelli, Winston Wood, who's also on this one, Casey Spielmaker, Justin Emery, Mike Myers, Jason Tuttle, Marcus Sapp, Mike Spizzato, Matt Sheffer, Kurt Honder, Gary Garza, Travis Gerd, Jim Stortaboom, Jess Denhardig, John Goodish, Joel McDonald, Matt Sheffer, Dave Parrish, Dan Vanderheide, Ricky Giardo, Jason Druckenmiller, Lori Wallace, Teddy Rasecki, Dan McGraw, Josh Veldkamp, Mike Worthington, Dave Norman, a good one, Richie Clark, Tony Perkins, Mike Johnson, Andy Nowak, Toby Grantham, Austin Petroli. Yeah, if we got to move over a little bit, that's good. Austin, Willie DeBeck, Dave Fountain, Mike Voss, Dan McGraw again, Jeff Martin, Mike Worthington again, Paul Dobb, Jason Zacco, and Gavin Flood. So if you've been to these before, you know that we read each and every nomination, and it was time consuming. What shouldn't be, overlooked is the impact, and that's kind of what I wanted to get at. So I want to read some names before I recognize what these folks have done. 65-year-old Robert, thanks you. A newborn baby, thanks you. 32-year-old Ross, whose internal automatic defibrillator shocked him 8 times before he went unresponsive and somebody called 911. 34-year-old Kendra, who received an internal automatic defibrillator after meeting you. 40-year-old Kamal, who was at work. 30-year-old Jessica. 68-year-old Colleen. 34-year-old Calvin, who was in a restaurant parking lot, and luckily Tara was there too. All of these people suffered cardiac arrest. They were dead for a bit. It's a medical term, dead for a bit. And then they were alive after God and these folks intervened. It's remarkable. It's rare. And as I looked into these calls, there were 3 things that really jumped out at me as common. Early recognition that something was bad. Somebody called 911. Early CPR, usually by a bystander. And then early defibrillation, most of the time by these folks. And those people were alive, are alive. So these people are all just going to say I was doing our job, but thank God that you chose this job. A lot of people thank you, and especially during COVID and all the changes that brought about, we all thank you very much. Come on, grab your certificates, and we'll give you a shake of hands. Job well done. On November 8th, 2020, a pregnant mother went into labor at home. They waited until the contractions got frequent. There's no sense in going to the hospital too early during COVID and getting turned around, false alarm. So then Dad was driving them into the hospital. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? Well, baby girl didn't wait. Lieutenant Betts, Lieutenant Van Lente, and Firefighter Miller helped this new family out by the side of the road. I'd like to recognize for a live birth those folks, Jim, John, and David. And then I'd also like to recognize Mike DeCam. He's a retired dispatcher, and a lot of us know his calm voice, his professionalism. That was all recognized in this award recognition. Just that calm in the stressful situation is just exactly what you need. So appreciate Mike DeCam on that. True professional. So John, Jim, and David, if you're here, why don't you come up and get that live birth award too. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That was our medical awards. Next up, we do the Firefighter of the Year. And for Firefighter of the Year for 2020, his father, Dennis Morrow, and we'll go into that in a little bit. For Firefighter of the Year 2021, this year was done a little differently than the years past. In the years past, we have several nominations, and our friends, the American Legion Local Canoe Club, would look at those nominations and choose who they felt was the most deserving of that honor. And this year, they made the decision to, instead of just picking one person, they're honoring the entire fire department, all the men and women of the department, for the work that we've done throughout this pandemic. As the true frontline workers that we are, we were at work through it all. People were sick, and we responded to those people. We put ourselves in harm's way on every call that we went on in the past 18 months or longer. So for Firefighter of the Year of 2021, that award went to the entire department. One of the things that is really good and neat to see and to be part of are giving the Citizens Fire Service Awards out. These awards are for citizens that put themselves in danger at times, who didn't just sit by and watch something happen. They acted, and sometimes those actions have saved lives. We talked about the CPR saves. Sometimes people see somebody collapse and they jump right in. They're not afraid to get down there and do CPR. Several people on this list jumped into the river to save somebody. So we'll go through these names and have them come up and receive their award. First up, on September 1st of 2021, Robert Brown. Is Robert Brown here today? Oh, yeah, Robert Brown was driving, saw a car accident where the vehicle was on fire and there was people trapped in the vehicle. He stopped. He pulled 3 people from that vehicle, saving lives that day. thank you, Robert, for what you did. I don't believe Carissa Stolzenberg is here tonight. No. Carissa was our point of contact for all things COVID in the department. When we had members that had gotten sick, members who'd gotten exposed, members that needed to be tested, she was there for us right away. The work that she did helped to keep us going, helped to keep us apprised of our members' needs, and it was a great resource for us to have. Without her, it would have been a lot harder for us to get people back to work, cleared for duty, and healthy. So we want to thank her for her work that she did. Next I have Jose Ventura. Jose and Jacob Bird. Jose and Jacob Bird responded or reacted to a person in the river who was having a seizure. They didn't hesitate to act. They saw a need. They got in the river and they got the guy out. Without their action, somebody in a seizure in the river was going to drown. When somebody sees that, they call 911. It takes us a while to get there. It takes us 4 minutes to respond. In that 4 minutes time, these guys had already done what they did, pulled the guy out and saved him. Next up, we have Christian Smith. Christian couldn't be here tonight. He's out fighting wildland fires in Oregon. Christian similarly saw somebody needed his help in the river, deep waters. Person was in a bad way and water over his head. Christian saw it, jumped in the water, got to the swimmer, the person in there, who was fighting back. And as we know, we've been trained in the water rescue training that there's some times when someone's drowning and you go to save them, you are going to have to contend with that, where they're trying to fight you to get out of the water. They're trying to climb over the top of you. And if you don't react right, you could end up as the rescuer needing to be rescued. Christian used his military experience to get it done and brought the guy to safety, to shore to safety. So tonight we have Lieutenant Bill Smith and Jackie receiving the award for Christian. In January 2020, Tara Calcutt, I hope I say the names right. Tara's here, right?
Yes.
Oh, right ahead, sorry. And here's one that's extra, I guess. You know, when we talk about how people will help jump in and they're not afraid to do CPR, but if I remember right, you didn't just do CPR, but you were right down there. You were doing the full-blown mouth to mouth.
This was before COVID was a thing. Yes.
Where most people would, you know, even if they decided, hey, I'm going to help and I'm going to do CPR, a lot of people might hesitate, might not want to do the lip locking and do the mouth-to-mouth. But Tara wasn't afraid. Tara jumped in and did what she did, and that brought the person back. So thank you, Tara, for your work with that. A couple days before Tara was doing CPR, Mark Bruckner. Mark, are you here? Yes. A traffic accident had happened. Icy day, black ice everywhere. The car accident we're referring to, there was one accident, and not too long after that, another car came up and hit one of the cars involved. And maybe a little crazy, but Mark gets out and stops traffic, stops people from continuing on, ended future car crashes. Without Mark's actions, and Mark, I believe, is a former paramedic?
No.
No.
Sorry, no.
Sorry. Without Mark's actions, Jacob Bird was the former paramedic. Sorry. Without Mark's actions, there would have been a lot more accidents, and we've all seen the domino effect of these car accidents. That's where people get hurt. That's where people die. So thank you, Mark. Next up, we have the Distinguished Service Recognition. This is our years of service recognition. And there is a lot of names on this years of service recognition. Again, we've been 2 years since we've done our last award ceremony. So what I'm going to do is like we did with the Life Saves, is call the names and have you line up and take some photos and then receive your pin. At 35 years, Deputy Chief Ronald Tennant, Lieutenant James Gonzalez, and Lieutenant Dan DeBlay. At 30 years, Equipment Operator Mike Worthington, Lieutenant Lou Houtman, Battalion Chief David Norman, Battalion Chief Colin Kelly, Lieutenant Sean Murray, Captain Brian DeForest, and Equipment Operator Tony Roloff. Also at 30 years, Firefighter Joseph DeBay, Equipment Operator James Stortaboom, Lieutenant Jeff Martin, Equipment Operator Richard Bush, retired, Equipment Operator David Parrish, Equipment Operator Terrence Timmer, Fire Marshal Eric Doctor, Battalion Chief Mark Norman, and Battalion Chief Eric Freeman. For 25 years, we have Equipment Operator Dave Olivier, retired, Captain Scott Gray, Battalion Chief Kathleen Thompson, Equipment Operator Mike Myers, Equipment Operator Gary Metcalf, retired, Captain Kevin Carmel, Equipment Operator Aaron Draper, and Equipment Operator Kurt Honder. For 20 years of service, we have Acting Lieutenant Eric Ryder, Lieutenant Jack Flinsky, Lieutenant Casey Spielmaker, Firefighter Michael Malcolm, Lieutenant Dennis Brake, Firefighter Jeremy Shepard, and Lieutenant Jason Druckenmiller. For 15 years of service, Captain David Marchinda, Equipment Operator Jason Zamaron. Lieutenant Corey Kernoodle. That's me. Firefighter Nate Mulder. Lieutenant Matthew Dumond. And Firefighter Christy Shepard. We're getting there. For 10 years, we have Equipment Operator Darcy Cooper. Lieutenant Alexander Haynes. Equipment Operator Daniel Ryan. Lieutenant Justin Holmes. Equipment Operator Vincent Lorelli. Firefighter Paul Dobb. Lieutenant Jordan Heisma. Equipment Operator Eric Balahowski. Equipment Operator James Cooper. Lieutenant Justin Stevie. Equipment Operator Daniel Weatherwax. Equipment Operator Abraham Schneider. Equipment Operator William Fabiano. Firefighter Michael Johnson. Firefighter Nicholas Fidowa. Equipment Operator Alexander Atwood. Also at 10 years, Firefighter Daniel McGraw. Lieutenant Curtis Walsh. Firefighter William Ravel. Lieutenant Jonathan Van Lente. Equipment Operator Brian Meyerholtz. Firefighter Brandon Mika. Equipment Operator Matthew Hutter. Equipment Operator Adam Lubbers. Firefighter Gregory Purser. And Firefighter David Miller for 10 years. On to our 5 years. We have Firefighter Peter Sarantos. Equipment Operator Jason Zotko. Firefighter Nathan Dreyer. Firefighter Mark Matthews. Equipment Operator Tobias Grantham. Firefighter Jared Ellier. Equipment Operator Christopher Knapp. Firefighter Jane Long. Firefighter James Kuipers, sorry. Firefighter Marcus Sapp. Firefighter Cody Heisma. Firefighter Xavier Greenfield. And Firefighter Casey Sullivan at 5 years. And there's more at 5 years, sorry. Also at 5 years, we have Firefighter Justin Emery. Firefighter Gary Garza. Firefighter Nicholas Veldkamp. Firefighter Robert Long. Firefighter Matthew Stevens. Sorry, Matt. Firefighter Alex Van Putten. Firefighter Tim Welsh. Firefighter Benjamin Ingersoll. Firefighter Eric Veldkamp. Firefighter Tom Felix. Firefighter Joel Borst. And last but not least, Fire Chief John Lehman. Again, these distinguished years of service, thank you guys and gals. We also have some civilians that work in our fire department. So for them, 25 years of service, we have Inspector Theodore Jensen. Ted? Is Ted here? No? All right. At 10 years of service, we have Trudy Rennie and Brian Block. I know that Trudy's probably not here. Brian's probably not here either. And at 5 years, we have Dawn Kulak. So. That was a lot of awards, a lot of names. Thank you guys for being here tonight for the awards portion of our ceremony. Again, I'd like to thank the awards committee for all the work they've done in this, preparing this ceremony. John Keeler put in a lot of work to this program, a lot of work with the awards. Without him, this wouldn't have been possible. Danny Venaclass helping as well over there. Matt Shepard, Lieutenant Matt Shepard, Captain Matt Keisch, Battalion Chief Dave Norman, Lieutenant Robert Rude, Firefighter Alex Van Putten, all put in work to make this happen tonight. So I want to thank them for their work. We'll turn the stage over to Chief Lehman and we'll begin the promotional ceremony.
So, first of all, I'd like to recognize one more person that slid in on the backside. He's retired deputy chief from this organization, but also our state fire marshal, Kevin Sahlmeyer. Thank you very much for being here. So, I just received a 5-year service reward, or award, I should say. It's also a reward. But 5 years in this position is almost equivalent to Chief Tenant's 35 years on the job. And so, but I can tell you that I want to speak to two things about the awards that were just given out. One, the amount of service that somebody puts into this job. At about 5 years, when you're recognized for 5 years of service, it's right about the time where you should feel that you can open your mouth up and ask a question or basically speak some kind of truth. And before that, you really want to just keep your ears open and not really say too much. When you hit about 10 years, that's when you're feeling comfortable and you're feeling like you really understand a little bit more about what's going on in our job. At 15 years, you really should be thinking about where you are in your career and whether or not promotion is something that is in your want and desire and contributing to the organization, and you're really settling in. At 20 years, that's a big mark. 20 years in any career is a big mark, but in our careers, 20 years is a milestone. And 25 and 30 years are those are the times where you're starting to think and reflect back on your career and think about what it is that you've accomplished, if there's anything left that you would like to do, but you're looking forward to those retirement years. And when you hit 35 years, I really don't know why you're still here, but we're very happy to have you here because you contribute a lot to this organization. So that's the years of service that we just recognized. When we go back to the awards, I just want to say that these are the few people that out of the thousands, 20,000 plus responses that we do in a year. And this was over a 2-year period, so you take that and double it. Though these are a few people that are being recognized for some unique calls. Our men and women are out there every single day and night. They are risking themselves. They are doing things that have not been recognized tonight, only because they weren't brought forward. Our people do not come forward themselves in order to be recognized. It's only as a result of somebody else putting them in for that recognition that we're here tonight. And so that kind of leads me into the promotions that we're about to do. So promotions in our organization, we're going to recognize the promotions to equipment operator, to the rank of lieutenant, the rank of captain, and in the rank of battalion chief. And the promotions are really a thing to be celebrated. It's a proud moment for the individual, a proud moment for their family, a proud moment for the organization. It's one of the best things that I get to do. And it also becomes one of the hardest things that I get to do. So I'll tell you that the thing that I really value and cherish about every time I make a promotion is that it's a difficult decision. It's a difficult decision because we have so many good people. So many good people to choose from that are vying for a very limited amount of positions to lead within this organization. And that's a very cool thing. And I'm so happy to be able to make these, and proud to be able to make these. So I would like to call the equipment operators up that are present. I'll read all the names, but if you could come up, as well as when you do come up, please, if you have somebody that's going to be pinning your badge for you, if you'd please bring them with you and come up to the front of the stage. And the equipment operators are Mike Myers, equipment operator Eric Balahowski, equipment operator Matt Hutter, equipment operator Toby Grantham, equipment operator Chris Knapp, equipment operator Jason Zacco. That should be all of them. Gentlemen, when you come up, if you haven't done it already, can you please remove your badge? All right. So the job of an equipment operator is one that we rely on extremely. It's a very important job. Not only are they charged with navigating the streets, getting the company to the address that we're trying to respond to, they're responsible for the actual physical operation of the equipment. They are responsible for the safe operation and the critical tasks of either getting a piece of apparatus in place to be able to serve on the fire ground, or pumping that apparatus to be able to provide the critical fire flow that we need to be able to extinguish. These folks are people that are looked at as a kind of a second in command on that company level, somebody that the company officer turns to regularly in order to step into a position of leadership. And I'm proud to be able to make these promotions today to these folks that are up here. At this time, could the badge pinners please go ahead and pin the badge on the equipment operators. Well done. I would like to congratulate all of these equipment operators for their promotion to that rank, and I thank you for your service, and I know that we are going to see years and years of good things from you. Thank you very much. Okay, next we are going to promote to the rank of lieutenant. I have Lieutenant James McIntyre, Lieutenant James Betts, Lieutenant Robert Rood, Lieutenant Jonathan Van Lente, Lieutenant Jeremy Chesla. please come forward with the person that's going to pin you. Thank you very much. So the rank of lieutenant is a frontline supervisor. They are supervising a company of what we call a company, which is a company of 3 personnel, themselves and 2 others. They are the person that's in charge during that shift in that station house, and they're tasked with a great deal of responsibility. We don't necessarily, when we are firefighters in this organization or any organization in the fire service, we don't necessarily have that kind of burden on us, other than we worry about the safety of our brothers and sisters. But when you become that rank of lieutenant, you now carry that burden with you every single shift day. You know that the decisions you make and the position that you put that company in is critical to the safety of those people that are operating underneath you. You know that the decisions you make as that officer are critical to how the other events in the fairground unfold. And so this is a very serious promotion, and we have to make sure that we've got the right people in the right position. This truly is the company officer position at the rank of lieutenant and captain, truly is where all of the work within our organization gets done organizationally on the company level. These are what I feel, the most important people in our organization. And my folks have heard me say this many times, but you can wipe this whole area out right here. You can take the whole top end of the fire department off, and the job would still get done as a result of the strong work of our men and women in the suppression ranks and under the good leadership of a good lieutenant or a good captain. So I'd like to congratulate these folks on their promotion to lieutenant, and could the badge pinners please pin. Congratulations to our fire lieutenants. Next, we will be promoting our fire captains. Could I have Captain Keith Borison come forward? Captain Mike Witteveen? Captain of Fleet Maintenance, Fred White? Captain of Facility Maintenance, Todd Wright? Captain Joel Boyer? Captain Joaquin Martinez? Thank you. The rank of captain is the next in line of succession. Our captains on a suppression level are charged with operating multiple companies under their command out of one station house. Not only do they have the command of their own company that they're responsible for, but typically they're also responsible for all the other shifts that fall underneath that company designation. There is a very much increased amount of responsibility placed on these promotions, and we also are celebrating tonight the promotion of a fleet and facilities captain as well as a captain of equipment maintenance. These jobs are tasked with not only maintaining our entire 11, 12 facilities, including our training division, but all of the equipment and apparatus that we use on a daily basis. That is a great deal of responsibility and weight that we put on those folks' shoulders, and so we're very happy with the job that all these folks are doing. The rank of captain also continues to take on more responsibilities as we attempt to look to these folks as the future of the organization and future draws into the battalion chief position as well as the chief officer positions. And so these truly are people that we depend on heavily and that carry a lot of weight. So thank you very much to these captains, and we congratulate them on their promotion. And would you please pin the badge on the promotee? We have one more promotion to make, and that's our promotion to the battalion chief rank of training battalion chief. And so we have Battalion Chief Bill Race. Battalion Chief Race was selected as our battalion chief in charge of training. Chief Race is a very respected member of the department, and he also has a very big job in front of him, not only running all of the recruit academies, but supervising the training of the entire fire department suppression staff, and somebody that we rely on critically to be able to make sure that we are meeting our requirements of training, keeping our staff well educated, making sure that we are really staying on top of our game. And that's a difficult time, especially when we came through the challenging times of COVID. And so all of our training had to get readjusted, and we had to really rethink how we did things. We couldn't put multiple companies together. We had to do a lot more in-house. A lot more was asked of the training division and the people that support Chief Race, and they came through with flying colors. And so we congratulate him on his promotion, thank him for his service, and thank him for keeping us and all of us in the organization on the right track. Chief Race. That concludes the promotion ceremony, and I would just like to say that Captain Cornell is going to have some remarks before we take a little break. This could be an opportune time, if you chose to do it, to leave. I'm really hoping that you don't do that, because we really want to give the tribute that's due to our chaplain, Father Dennis Morrow, who served this department as chaplain for 44 years. And we were not able to properly give him a send-off. And so please, when we break for refreshments, just give us another couple of minutes after that. We'll make it quick, but we do want to give everybody a little bit of a break because this has been a long ceremony, and then we'll get back to it. So we appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very much.
So this went a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. Our Father Den tribute is scheduled to begin at 8:30, but I think we'll probably bump that up a little faster than that. But right now we have refreshments behind you guys. There's coffee, there's cider, not behind you. There's a wall behind you. Behind that wall, we have donuts from Sprinkles Donuts. We have coffee, we have cider. So take a minute, stretch your legs, talk, enjoy yourselves, have some refreshments, take pictures, and we'll meet back in here at 7:30? Back in here at 7:30. Thank you.